반갑습니다. So I live in this area that has like these two branches of two of the big universities here, and I just got back from eating dinner at this place. It's like a fried chicken sandwich place. Best place in Busan, by the way. It's called Mom's Touch. I'm sure you've heard about it if you're in Korea watching this. And the reason why I point that out is there's always a lot of students walking around in my area. So as I'm waiting for my food, they're playing the news on this big LCD screen. I can't understand anything that they're saying, but I just like to watch. It helps to pass the time. And then all of a sudden I heard the broadcaster, the news person saying, Migook, Migook, Migook. That means America or American, depending on the context. And I look up, and they're showing this story about how some of the teachers in America need to wear these little hidden camera devices on them or something, or maybe they're being set up in the classroom. I don't know exactly what the story was, because they're getting the crap beaten out of them by students. And so I guess they want to catch it on tape. As they're going through the story, they're showing clip after clip of the ones that you've seen them. You've seen them on YouTube. You've seen them on sites like LiveLeak or something like that. That and everyone's got a camera now, and they're just showing like fall down, drag out brawls with teachers, walking up to a teacher in class, smacking them in the face, fighting in a classroom, and all that kind of stuff. As they're showing each clip like a highlight reel of American schools, these kids are brought to a complete stop, and just audible shock is coming out of their mouth each time like a hit happens or a body slam or something, and they're just like, whoa, the air is being sucked out of them, because that concept is just otherworldly in the psyche of a Korean. I mean, it's not like there's any harsher laws, like if you hit a teacher you're going to get like publicly caned and hard labor for 50 years. No, it's nothing like that. It's just, it's not even in the psyche to do that. I mean, I know a lot of people are going to say, Tom, not all schools are that way in America. I know not all schools are that way in America, but there's a lot that are, and all you have to do is fire up your internet, and you're going to see video after video after video of cases where this stuff is happening. It just isn't happening here. A student here would rather push frustration down and go jump off a bridge before disgracing themselves by punching a teacher in the face. I'm sure if that happened, even though corporal punishment was banned, I'm sure everyone would turn a blind eye if a teacher hauled off and beat the crap out of that student for being that disgraceful to them. I'm not saying one or the other is better. I'm just throwing that out there. I mean, even speaking back is just extreme insubordination here. I mean, that type of stuff just doesn't happen. And I was sitting here, and normally I just fit in because I look like everyone until I start speaking, and they're like, oh, he's a foreigner. And everything would have been fine, except I had just gotten off the phone before the story came up, and I was talking to a friend of mine. So everyone within earshot knew that I was foreign, and I'm like, God, this is just embarrassing. You know, there was a day. This is just from living in Korea's opinion. One person. So let me know if I'm off base here. There was a day when America was like the pinnacle of education, and the UK. Today, just the UK in most cases. In terms of modeling, and you know, you go to places like the Middle East, Middle East, or Southeast Asia, or China, or stuff like that, and the tendency now, in my opinion, is clearly shifting over to modeling after the I can't even speak straight. The British schooling system. America, they still look at America and they say, well, you know, you got great universities. And we do have great universities. We charge $200,000 for a student to get an education, and then they're in debt for the rest of their lives. So they should be good. But in terms of everything up before that point, we're not looked at for guidance. We're looked at more as an example. Like, see, look at that. Look at the numbers. The numbers don't lie. Look at the videos. The videos don't lie. Let's use that as an example. And it's really crazy. And it's just such a stark difference between the two cultures. And I don't know what's going on in America, where this stuff is allowed, where we're complacent about it, where the government is complacent about it, where how it's not able to be stopped. Um, Obviously, America is a far more violent society than a place like Korea. We're talking about two opposite. That's like trying to compare a basketball player to a baseball player. How do you compare the two? I mean, it's two different worlds. But, you know, it's like, why is it so crazy like that? And I was just embarrassed. And I'm embarrassed when I'm even by myself watching these videos. And I'm a licensed teacher now because I want to continue teaching abroad and stuff like that. And people ask me all the time, hey, you going to go back home? And I'm always like, no, I'm not going to go back home and teach. I mean, unless God puts it on my heart that I really should go back home and be in a public school setting. I don't want to. You know, and I see these things and I'm like, that's why I don't want to. You know, I mean, that's an example. I mean, not all schools are that way, I know that. But you would never see that in a place like Korea. You would never see that in a place like Japan. It's not even in their DNA. Even as much as the cultures are changing, it's just not that way. Anyway, I'm not going to end on a negative note. Positive note, co-teacher of mine from the middle school that I used to teach at, they sent her abroad for 1 month. They do that with some of the English teachers here to get them, you know, encapsulated in the foreign culture, so they can learn English a little bit better. And she went to Sacramento. Obviously, everything is prearranged, scheduled, choreographed. So they put her in a good school, and she came back. She says, "Oh, the students were so respectful, so nice, blah blah blah." And I'm like, Sacramento, well, you know, they probably put you in a good school. I mean, when America's good, we're really good. But when we're bad, there aren't many that are worse. And I'm watching these clips tonight, and I'm like, there's a perfect example. Anyway, let me know what you think. Let me know if I'm off base. Let me know your thoughts. Anyway, thanks for watching and listening to my rant. Peace out.